ActionSA National Chairperson is Michael Beaumont, and he joins us now. Mr. Beaumont, good evening to you. Thanks for your time. This was your fight. You were relentless in your pursuit of this report finally being declassified. So let's get thoughts from you. What is the significance of finally obtaining this report?
Well, it's been a long battle, as you say, Phala, but a victory for the South African people more than one for us as a party, because even though we fought this for a whole year, and amid the strangest delays, including broken email systems and all kinds of excuses, ultimately a victory has been won. We were in court. We were challenging the refusal of our prior application, which we filed about 9 months ago. So that's how long we've been on this issue. And ultimately, the declassification of that report is a product of a lot of work that has been put in to fight this issue. And the reason why it matters and the significance of this moment is that the IPID investigation has become the final beachhead for any South African looking for any accountability on this issue. Every government institution has jumped at the opportunity to free the president of any form of accountability for having $580,000 stuffed into his couch. And really, this is the last opportunity, because it was the public protector, not as the ATM suggests themselves. It was the public protector who occasioned the IPID investigation by producing a report that said that these individuals had operated outside of the law. It was then classified as top secret against the government's own policy, because it didn't meet any of the criteria for such a classification. And ultimately, that report was going to be kept away from the South African people because it demonstrates, we believe, that members of the Presidential Protection Unit were involved in investigating the robbery when they didn't have the legal mandate to do so. That is the work of our detective services. But of course, they were protecting the president when they were doing this investigation, not investigating the possibility that our president had committed a crime.
And interestingly, on the 2nd of February, this report was declassified, and this you were not told about. It was only revealed by the acting Minister of Police, all because he was asked a question about this and he revealed through that parliamentary question as a response. That leads me to my next question, because you're now fearing that large parts of this report will be blacked out. Do you know this as a fact?
Well, we do. It was the acting Minister of Police, there's so many I get confused, who made the statement to say that they will have to redact large parts of the report without giving any reasons why such a redaction would be required. And already we are concerned, because first, this report was too secret for us to know. Now it's possible for us to know, but then they need to keep information from us. And all of this tells us that we should be suspicious that there has been a massive government cover-up that has produced a whitewash, the equivalent of the Phala fire pool with the cheesy music, or that there actually is real findings against Wally Ruder and the Presidential Protection Unit members who effectively interfered with an investigation we fear, for the sake of protecting the president. There's a reason why the detective services investigate crimes and not Presidential Protection Unit members, because the detective services are charged with getting to the truth of a matter, and the people in charge of protecting the president are doing just that. And we fear that's exactly what happened in respect of this entire story.
Well, if that becomes reality, what's the next course of action?
Well, we will be willing to challenge the report in court if necessary. If the report is a whitewash, it can be taken to court and be set aside, and they can be required to go back and investigate properly, bearing in mind that the public protector's report that occasioned the investigation is binding in law, and therefore they are accountable for that. But also, if the report has been redacted to the point where information is being kept away from the South African people with no justifiable basis to do so, then we can challenge that in court too, because we smell a rat, and we really do fear a situation that there was once a South African parliament that was strong on these issues, and now they are all in bed with the very same president who had $580,000 in his couch, and that's why they don't speak up on this issue anymore. So if parties like ActionSA are not going to take on this fight, this will be the last opportunity for South Africa to ever see any accountability for the scandal that was Phala Phala.
Michael Beaumont, thank you very much for your time. Chairperson of ActionSA, the political party, one of the parties represented in Parliament.